Hi Stagecoach, it's me Paul. Now today I've got you for another drama lesson, and today we're going to do something a little bit different. We're going to spend today's lesson sort of exploring our senses, okay? Now, what is the really important thing that we need to do before we start doing our drama lesson? Can you guess what it is? Yeah, we need to do a warm-up. Let's get to it. So, first thing we're going to do is to make sure our body is nice and loose and limber and ready to move around, do some drama, fun stuff, okay? First thing we're going to do is I need you just to loosen up your neck a little bit if you copy what I'm doing. So we're going to move our neck from left to right, to left, to right, to left, to right. One more time. Left to right. Now the important thing is not to overstretch, because if you overstretch you can hurt your neck. Okay? So we're going to do it 3 more times and then we're going to move to up and down. Okay? So we're going left to right, to left, to right, to left, to right. Up, down, up to the ceiling, down to your toes, up to your ceiling, and down to your toes. Next thing we're going to do is we're going to roll our neck in a circle very gently. So we're going to start off by going to the left, all the way around, and again all the way around very gently, being careful not to overstretch. And one more time and then we'll change direction. And then we're going to go around to the right, all the way around, all the way around, nice and gently. Okay, now, really fun thing, I want you to try and draw a figure of 8 with your nose, okay? So we're going to start off, we're going to go around, and down, and up, and down, and up, and down, and up, and last time, and up. Now you should feel your neck all nice and loose now. We can move on to the rest of the body. So we've warmed up our neck now. Now let's imagine we're working our way down the body. So what's our next body part going to be if we're working our way down from the neck? Is it going to be our knee? Is it going to be our toes? Is it going to be our hip? Or is it going to be our shoulders? I think it's going to be our shoulders, isn't it? If we're working our way down from the neck, next body part we're going to do is our shoulders. So what I want you to do is just to gently roll your shoulders back. So we're going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Then I want you to roll them forward for 8. So we're going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Next step is we want to put our hands on our shoulders. We're going to do the same thing, so we're going to go back for 8 with our hands on our shoulders. So it's going to work our whole arm as well as our shoulders. So it should look something like this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Then we're going to go forward again. So we're going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Now the next thing we're going to do, I'm going to need to move sideways because I don't have enough room, because we're going to be moving our whole arm in circles, okay? So make sure you've got enough space to do that. Right, so I'm going to turn to the side. We're going to go with one arm at a time, starting with our left arm, which will look like your right on the screen, but this is my left. So we're going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Then I want you to go forward, starting with the right arm. So we're going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Good job. So we've done neck and shoulders. Let's move on to the next part of our body. So, we have warmed up our neck. We have warmed up our shoulders. What's the next thing we're going to warm up? Is it going to be our thighs? Is it going to be our ears? Is it going to be our bum? No. Next thing we're going to do is our rib cage. Now, I know what you're going to say. You go, Paul, how do we warm up our rib cage? It's a bone. Well, in between those bones is a really, really important muscle that helps you breathe. It's called your intercostal muscle. Now, if you've seen my other video, we've done an exercise before which helps stretch these out. I call it the giant ladder. So, what I need you to do is to stretch your arms really, really high up as if you're climbing onto a giant ladder, okay? And we're going to alternate arms going up and down. So we're going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And when we get to 8, I want you to stand right on your tiptoes and try and touch the ceiling, okay? For as long as you can. We're going to do another count of 8. So we're going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and down. And then we're going to climb that ladder again, okay? So we're going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and rise up, touch the ceiling. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and back down. Well done. So we've just stretched out our intercostal muscles. Let's move on to the next warm-up. So, we have warmed up our neck, our shoulders, and our ribs now. Next thing we're going to do is just going to warm up our back a little bit and our spine and our back muscles, because they, again, are really important, okay? Help you breathe, help you move around. So, what you're going to need to do, sit on the floor, cross-legged like me. We're going to reach up to the sky, and we're just going to bend over the tops of our knees and flop down to the floor, like so. So, you're going to need to follow what I'm going to do next. So we're going to stay here in this position for 8 counts. So we're going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Now the next thing we need to do is move over to the left. So if you just copy me, we're going to stretch over to the left like so. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Then back to the centre. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Over to the right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Back to centre. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And gently roll up. There we are. Back lovely and warm and stretched out. Well done. So, we've warmed up our neck, shoulders, ribs and back. Next thing I always like to end on is to have a little bit of a shake out. If you see my other videos, then you know what I'm talking about. We're going to go from right arm, right leg, left leg, from 6 down to 0. Okay? So, let's go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1. And just shake it all out. Shake all of those stresses away. Shake it all out. And I want you to just gently flop over to the floor. head being really heavy. Make sure you're bending your knees. And then when we come up, we're going to come back up, and our head is going to be the last thing to come up, bit by bit, and our head is there. Now, I'm going to need to take a minute to go sort out my hair. I'll be back in a mo. So, now that we have warmed up our body, we are going to warm up our face next. So, what I need you to do is pretend you are sucking on the world's sourest sweet, or biting into a lemon, okay? Now, I call this lemon face. So what we're going to do, we're going to scrunch up our face as if we're eating something really sour, so we're going to go, ooh, that's really sour. Okay, so that is lemon face. We're then going to swap from lemon face into another face that I call cat face. Now with cat face, we're going to poke our tongue out as far as it will go, with our jaw wide open, so we're going to go, ah. Okay, so that is cat face. So once again, cat face. Now, we're going to swap between lemon face and cat face lots of times, so you need to keep up. So let's go with lemon face first. Cat face. Lemon face. 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 Cat face. And lemon face. Good. Now, next thing we need to do is pretend we're chewing on the world's chewiest toffee. Okay? So, get that toffee, imaginary toffee, out of our pocket. Here it is. We're going to unwrap it right here. Ooh, this is nice. Oh no. Oh, not really good. Oh, so you just copied what I'm doing, and we're moving this really chewy toffee all around our mouth, and a big swallow, all gone. So let's get back to lemon face, cat face, lemon face, cat face, lemon face, cat face, lemon face, cat face, and then let's get another toffee out. Oh, this is really chewy, this one. Oh, it gets stuck in the teeth. Oh, it's really nice though. And guess what? So hopefully you feel nice and warm up in your face. Let's get playing some drama games, shall we? Let's go. So, now that we're finished with our warm-ups, we should be feeling nice and loose and limber and ready for lots of fun with drama, okay? So, like I said at the start of the lesson, we are going to be focusing on our senses. Now, who knows what I mean when I say senses? Well, they're the different sensations you experience throughout your body, and they're actually really, really important for acting. So can we name all the different senses that we have? So we've got touch, we've got taste, we've got sight, we've got sound, and what's the final one? We've got smell. So our 5 senses right there. Now before we can sort of explore these, I'm going to do another little fun exercise to start off with to get us thinking about our acting abilities and to get us to focus. Okay? Let's go! So for this first exercise, what I'm going to need you to do is just to remember some key points on the screen. So this is point 1, this is point 2 above my head, and this is point 3 over here. Now, the reason why we're going to need to remember these is that we're going to be looking at swapping in between these different points. So let's try that first. When I say the point and clap, I need to look at that point. So if I say point number 1, everyone looks at point number 1. If I say point number 3, everyone looks at point number 3. If I say point number 2, everyone looks at point number 2. Everyone understand? Great. Let's move on to the next bit of the exercise. Okay, so now we know where all of these points are, let's move on to the next phase of the exercise, which is emotions. When I say an emotion followed by a point number, I want you to look at that point in that emotion. So for example, if I was to say happy at point number 3 and clap, you'd all turn, look at point number 3 and give me your happy face. Okay? Do you get the idea? Happy? Understand? Let's give it a go for real, shall we? So let's just remind ourselves where those points are to begin with. So we've got point number 1 over here, point number 2 above my head, and point number 3 over here. So let's give this a go, shall we? Let's do point number 1, angry. I'm so angry at point number 1. I'm so angry. So angry. Point number 2, scared. Oh, no, I'm so scared. Point number 3, let's go happy. Now, can you see the way that my body changes when we're changing different emotions and the way that my face changes? That's very important. So let's carry on. Let's add a few more emotions in and see how well you do. Point number 1, confused. Point number 3, excited. Point number 2, tired. Point number 3, sad. Point number 1, hungry. And finally, point number 3, happy again. Now, I hope you enjoyed that. Reason why we're doing this game is we're going to use these points later on for our next exercise, which is exploring our senses. So, let's get going. So, we're going to move on to activity number 2. Now, for this activity, we're going to be using our senses a lot more, as well as using the reference points that we made earlier on in the video. So we've got 1, 2, and 3. Now, can you remember the senses that I mentioned at the start of this video? Well, we've got touch, taste, sight, sound, and smell. Now, we're going to work through each of these senses and come up with an action, an activity, or an acting choice for each of those senses. For example, for touch, I could be pretending to touch something that is really, really hot. So I'm going to go touch this really, really hot thing. What's going to happen? I almost burnt myself. It's that hot. Now for taste, it could be something as simple as eating your favourite food. For me, it's pizza. So just mimic how you would eat your favourite food. If it's pizza, I'm just going to go, that's some really nice imaginary pizza. Now for sight, you could be looking at something that is really tiny, like an ant. So you could just, I think I see one now. It's just, no, it's really small. Huh? Okay. No, you see? So then we move on to sound. So for sound, you could be listening to something that is really quiet or really far away. And you kind of, I can hear it, but is it there? Can you hear that? I think someone dropped a pin. Hang on. Let's see if we can do this. So this is my imaginary pin. It's going to be the quietest sound you ever heard. So when I let go, we need to be extra quiet and listen out for it, okay? Did you hear it? Oh, it was really quiet. And then, for example, for smell, you could be smelling something that's not very pleasant. Perhaps somebody's forgotten to take the rubbish out and you walk into the room and you kind of go, oh, what's that? What's that smell? Oh, that's horrible. Ugh. Do you get the idea? Now, what we're going to do next is feel free to pause the video at this point because you're going to need to come up with your own action or acting choice for each of those 5 senses. So we're going to give you a little bit of time now. Feel free to pause the video and then restart it when you've made all those decisions for your 5 senses. So remember, we've got touch, taste, sight, sound and smell. Let's get going. Okay, well, I hope you've made those acting choices for each of your senses, because what we're going to do now is we're going to use those and the reference points that we made earlier on in the video to act them out. So can you remember the reference points? So we've got 1, 2 and 3, okay? Now, instead of the emotions at those reference points, we're going to be using our senses. So I will say, for example, let's say touch at reference point number 3, and we'll go towards reference point number 3, and for my acting choice it's going to be something really hot that I'm going to touch. I'm going to go, ooh. Okay, do you get the idea? Let's play. Are you ready to go? Good. Let's start with smell at reference point number 1. Taste at number 3. Sight at number 2. Touch at number 1. Sound number 3. Smell at number 2. Sight at number 3. And finally, touch at number 2. So, I hope you enjoyed that activity. It's a really good way of exploring our senses when we're acting. Because when we're acting, we're in a world where all our senses are alive. So we need to be able to act them convincingly. Okay? Now, sadly, that's all we've got time for today. But feel free to play any of these activities or any of the games that I've used whenever you want. But for now, I'll say goodbye, stay safe, and wash your hands.